There are people who have been meditating for 20 years. People who have read every Buddhist book they can find. People who go on retreats, who sit in silence for weeks, who have built their entire identity around the spiritual path. And according to the oldest Buddhist tradition in existence, most of them haven't actually started yet. Not really. That's not me being harsh. That's the map. Because Theravāda Buddhism, the school closest to the Buddha's original teachings, doesn't talk about enlightenment as a feeling. It doesn't describe it as a mood, or a philosophy, or a lifestyle. It describes it as a transformation. A precise, measurable, irreversible transformation of the human mind. And it says that transformation happens in 4 stages. 4 thresholds. 4 lines you cross, one by one, that permanently change what you are capable of experiencing, what you are capable of suffering, and ultimately, who you are. Here's what stops almost everyone cold. To cross even the first threshold, you need something that most spiritual seekers spend their entire lives chasing without ever reaching. And most of them don't even know what it actually looks like. So today, I'm going to show you the full map. All 4 stages. What changes at each one? What gets cut away, permanently, forever, when you cross each line? And by the end, you'll understand exactly why this path is so rare, and what it would actually take to begin walking it. The setup. What are fetters? Before we walk through the 4 stages, you need to understand one word. Fetters. In Pali, the ancient language of Theravada scripture, the word is sadruna. It means chains, shackles, 10 specific mental and emotional patterns that bind a human being to the cycle of suffering. Think of them not as sins or flaws, but as blind spots. Deep, structural blind spots in how the mind perceives reality. Blind spots so fundamental that most people never even notice they're there because they've been there since birth. The entire path of Theravada enlightenment is the path of cutting these 10 fetters, one cluster at a time, each stage defined not by how peaceful you feel, not by how many hours you've meditated, not by how wise your words sound, but by how many of these chains you have permanently severed, not reduced, not managed, not put on hold during your morning sit. Gone, forever, non-returnable. That is what makes this map unlike anything else in the spiritual world. And that is why it is so rare. Let's walk through it. Stage 1. Sotapanna, the stream enterer. The first stage is called Sotapati. The person who reaches it is called a Sotapanna, which means literally one who has entered the stream. The stream is the current of the Noble Eightfold Path, flowing, inevitably, toward Nibbāna. Once you enter it, you cannot be swept backward. The current only moves one direction. At this stage, 3 fetters are permanently cut. The first, Sakyadifi, the belief in a permanent self. This is the deep, instinctive conviction that there is a solid, fixed me sitting at the center of your experience. A self that needs to be protected, validated, defended. A self that can be insulted, threatened, or diminished. The stream enterer has seen through this, not as a concept, not as a belief, but as a direct experience so clear and undeniable that it cannot be unseen. The second, Vichikich, corrosive doubt. Not ordinary questioning, not healthy skepticism, but the deep, knowing uncertainty about the path itself. The constant wavering. Is this real? Is any of this actually true? Am I wasting my life? That keeps so many practitioners cycling in circles for decades. For the stream enterer, that doubt is gone. They have seen. There is nothing left to doubt. The third, Sklavata Parmsasa, blind attachment to rituals. The belief that the right ceremony, the right prayer, the right sequence of actions will automatically produce liberation. The stream enterer understands clearly that freedom is not earned through performance. It is not found in the ritual. It is found in the transformation of the mind behind the ritual. Now here is the part that most people find almost impossible to believe when they first hear it. A stream enterer is guaranteed to reach full enlightenment within 7 more lifetimes. 7, no more. The current of the stream will carry them there, no matter what. And yet, this is where nearly every practitioner remains, right here, at stage 1, or more accurately, before stage 1, still trying to find the river. Because crossing this first threshold requires something almost no one in the modern world has been trained for: a direct, non-conceptual, experiential insight into the nature of reality itself. Not reading about Anat, no self. Not intellectually agreeing with it. Not feeling peaceful and calling it enlightenment. Seeing it directly, unmistakably, with the full force of a mind that has been trained and sharpened to that point. That is the first threshold, and 99% never cross it. Stage 2, Sakajin, the once returner. The second stage is Sakajimiti. The practitioner is a Sakajin one who returns once. They will be reborn in the human world, only one more time before reaching full liberation. At this stage, no new fetters are completely severed, but 2 of the remaining ones are dramatically, fundamentally weakened. Those 2 are kamakanda, sensual desire, and vipada, ill will. These are the 2 engines that drive almost every moment of ordinary human suffering. The restless pull toward pleasure, toward comfort, toward stimulation, and the reflexive push away from anything painful, frustrating, or threatening. The once returner still experiences both. They are still human. They still feel the warmth of connection, the pleasure of a good meal, the sting of disappointment. Those 2 are kamakanda, sensual desire, and vipada, ill will. These are the 2 engines that drive almost every moment of ordinary human suffering. The restless pull toward pleasure, toward comfort, toward stimulation, and the reflexive push away from anything painful, frustrating, or threatening. The once returner still experiences both. They are still human. They still feel the warmth of connection, the pleasure of a good meal, the sting of disappointment. Stage 3, Pengen, the non-returner. The third stage is Anagamit. The practitioner is an Angamti, one who does not return. This person will never be reborn as a human being again. When this life ends, they arise in the Sarvasa, the pure abodes, subtle realms of existence, where they will complete the final steps of the path. At this stage, those 2 fetters that were weakened at stage 2, sensual desire and ill will, are now completely and permanently cut, gone, not suppressed, not controlled through discipline, not held in check by willpower, severed at the root. Try to sit with that for a moment. A life with no compulsive reaching for pleasure, no reactive pushing away of pain, not numbness. The tradition is clear that the non-returner is filled with panti, a deep, spontaneous joy and compassion. But the clinging is gone. The recoiling is gone. Most of us have touched this place for a second, maybe at the end of a long retreat, maybe in a moment of profound presence, maybe in the stillness, just after something difficult has passed, and you're just here, completely open, with nothing to gain and nothing to defend. The Anjingshi lives there, permanently. And still, the path is not finished. Stage 4, Arahant, the fully enlightened one. The fourth and final stage is Arahat. The being is an Arahant, fully, completely, irreversibly liberated. All 10 fetters, cut. The final 5 severed here are attachment to refined states of existence, attachment to formless states, conceit, restlessness, and the deepest root of all, avijja, ignorance. Not ignorance as in not knowing facts. Ignorance as in the fundamental misperception of reality that has been running in the background of every human mind since the moment of birth. the distortion that makes craving feel necessary. That makes the self feel solid. That makes suffering feel unavoidable. When Abhijit is cut, when the root is finally pulled from the ground, what remains? The arahant still walks, still speaks, still eats and breathes and engages with the world. But there is no one left to be threatened, no self left to defend, no future that must be secured, no past that must be avenged. Just clear, luminous, unobstructed presence. And when the body of an arahant finally dies, the flame goes out, not into darkness, not into nothingness, but into something the Buddha consistently refused to map with ordinary language. Because ordinary language was built by minds still wrapped in fetters. He called it Nibbāna, and he said it was the highest happiness. So here you are. You've seen the full map now. 4 thresholds, 10 chains, 1 direction. And maybe you're sitting with this feeling that the path is impossibly far away, that you're nowhere near stage 1, that even the first crossing, this direct seeing through the illusion of self, feels like something from another world. That's okay. That's honest. But here's what the map is really telling you. The path is real. It has been walked by real human beings in real bodies with real minds not so different from yours. The direction is clear. And every single step, every moment of genuine presence, every honest look at how the mind creates its own suffering moves you closer to the stream. You don't have to cross all 4 thresholds today. You just have to take 1 true step toward the river. The current will do the rest. If this opens something in you, share it with someone on the path. And if you want me to go deeper into any single stage, the signs, the practices, what it actually feels like, drop it in the comments. I'll go there with you. Until next time, keep walking. The stream is real.